People are so afraid to talk about who they don't like.
That would be a good segment.
Zach, can you clap?
Yeah.
We should have a hate segment. Wait, do this.
Oh, yeah. Zach's got his arm.
Do a push up to start this.
Oh my
Should
God.
I come clap?
You can just clap over there.
Here.
There we go.
Nice.
Sounded good.
That's so funny.
I like
Zach,
it up close
can you
like
clap?
that too.
I might be sneezing on this pod too, so my shoulder might fly out of the socket. So
You can sneeze, dude.
I'm not laughing.
Sneeze all you
Everybody's
want.
gonna sneeze and shatter all their bones.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like the King Charles of Spain. I've been watching a lot of medieval shit on YouTube.
What, was he
so
like a fucking...
He used to think he was made of glass.
Oh.
He was like a schizophrenic,
Oh, okay. So he was like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Well, he was actually made of glass.
Apparently, like every monarch died a horrible death. Either that or this channel just is making shit up.
No, you can't. That's the fate of all kings.
Yeah.
You should not be a king.
It's
There's
just
no
like-
king where it ended nicely. You know what I mean?
And you know what's funny? The reason they all died like that is because they had the most doctors trying to help them, and the doctors were just rubbing like human bones in their, like literally making poultices out of like human bones and like rare like gems, just rubbing emeralds into your fucking sores.
That does sound kind of nice, actually.
They still do that at Walter Reed.
Yeah.
The thing I like, the history gross thing that doctors do. You know, we ate mummies
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
We ate mummies and made paint out of them.
We're cannibals,
for a
dude.
long
Yeah.
time.
That's all beef jerky is.
Yeah,
essentially.
it's mummies.
It's desiccated fucking
Soylent
meat.
Green.
I
is-
had a friend who used to make squirrel jerky.
Slim
too.
Jims are people. Should we introduce our guest?
You heard it here first, America.
We are going to introduce our guest. We have Ian Zeid on the pod this week.
Thank you.
Did I
man.
say your last name?
Yeah,
right?
you did actually.
All right,
That's
great.
You might be the first person to ever say it correct the first time.
Nice. I pay attention.
How you spell that?
Z is in zebra, EID is in David.
Okay. Do you do
Nice.
the...
Like he was on the phone
Yeah.
with customer support.
Is it always like a zebra and David?
That's just
Or
what
do you
I
switch it
remember
up?
my mom and my dad would say as a
Okay,
kid, and
yeah.
so like that was just what I started doing.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember as a kid, you'd hear them doing it's like, why do they have to do that? And then you become an adult, and you're like, oh yeah, you have to do that.
Yeah.
Like there's no other better way to teach an adult how to
Zeid.
spell your
That's how
name.
you say it, Zeid?
Yeah.
Nice. dude.
I am so excited to have Ian on the podcast because we've got like
Too much, it might be a little too much Jew.
we have a good Jew and a Sith Jew. You know what I mean? I'm so excited to see.
Can I actually be honest? So people recently have told me that like I am the most Jewish person they know, which is crazy to me.
I can
'cause-
see it.
I get it.
I
Yeah.
don't do anything. Like I barely
That's
go
why.
to
So
temple.
this is a great example. So the reason that you don't feel very Jewish is because the Jews that you grew up and were surrounded by were so extremely Jewish. and so that's the thing is that you came out of the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
So to you, you're like, this is barely.
Yeah.
I'm not even hamming it up at all. But that's why you seem so Jewish to everybody else is because you came
like
from where
it's-
they're made.
It's so beautiful and naive that you think that being Jewish is going to temple a lot. Like you think that's what people notice.
Yeah.
I will say, Ian, you run a great
Nick
show.
likes skull shapes. He's really into it.
You run an awesome show, Laughs Over Nelson, not
Yeah.
Laughs Over Lakeview.
Okay.
Lakeview. And I did this show last summer, and Ian's Jewish mother was there. Ian, you are the most Jewish person I've ever seen in my life, dude. The way you and your mom were interacting, it was amazing. It was like a
But
Woody
also, if
Allen
you see
movie.
a Jewish guy and his mother, you kind of everything makes sense. Like
Immediately
every-
everything
the
made sense.
posture. Like,
It's always just Bo is afraid.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing every time.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like my mom's—she's not like the classic Jewish mother.
No, you are a
I
dark
think-
Jew. Not, I
No,
don't mean
but
dark
you guys do have that relationship where your mom just she says stuff to you and you cower and
You should have seen me back in the
walk
day,
around
dude. I
wanting
used
to play. Yeah, I'm sure you punched her in the
used to
face.
fucking-
all the time.
No. I didn't do this.
You heard it here first, America.
But she wasn't. I feel like the Jewish mother thing is like, oh, you're killing me. It's like putting so much guilt on you.
Yeah.
And my mom doesn't really do it. I think what happened is the nuns beat Catholicism into my grandma during World War II.
Yeah.
Because they had to hide in a monastery.
Right, yeah, you told me.
And so they beat the Catholicism into her, and then she beat it into my mom. And so my mom's got a Catholic mom energy too.
An old Catholic Jewish lady might be the scariest thing
It's
I've ever
had.
it's like when you see a dog and it's like a mixture of like a pit bull and a Rottweiler, and you're like, whoa, why would you make one of those?
That's crazy.
That's like
how
my
long
mom.
is this thing gonna live?
1,000 more years.
Yeah, no, sorry, I don't mean that, but Ian, you are that other people's assessment of you is dead on. It's very funny that you don't realize.
I disagree.
No, I would say you're not the. No, it may just be Chicago. You're not the most Jewish person I've ever met, but you're in like the top 15 for sure.
It's a surprisingly large spectrum too, because you think you meet somebody who's the Jewiest Jew you've ever met, and then you think you're like, oh, but then the guys with the giant hats, the swirly hair hats. Yeah. There's always a level above.
Does that happen one day? Do you one day just like evolve? Does somebody give you like a Pokemon stone and you have to?
No,
put the
that's
hat
what
on?
they put on to go to sleep. That's what all the Jews go home and they get comfortable in that.
My entire family is really reformed, except for, well, he's not anymore, but my cousin ended up in yeshiva, which is Orthodox Judaism, where they just study, like he kind of just fell into that.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of, you're either born into it or it just happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is kind of like a Pokemon stone.
I felt like I don't know. This would be interesting because this is how I felt with Judaism. There was no like connection to like no one really ever showed me like this is how you connect to a higher power. It was like memorize this shit. Like this is what we eat on this day. Like there was no. Yeah. And then I didn't like the church group that I went when I went to like a Christian church either. But I get it more. At least there was like a honey in the pot. Judaism is like a honey pot, but it's dry. There's nothing in it. It's just dirt in the pot.
I can kind of see that. I think that's kind of what I like about Judaism, that it's kind of just like it's a do it your own religion,
right?
Like where you can kind of just do whatever you want, as long as you kind of like adhere to the main principles of usually not being a total piece of shit.
Yeah.
Which, current events aside,
I think that is something that
we don't have to go there at all.
Not.
Listen,
I'm ready.
But I know what the listeners are thinking, and they hear me say that.
It'll be let's do a 2-on-2 Jews versus Goy.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's technically 3-on-3. I mean, matrilineally. Yeah, matrilineally.
Your mom's Jewish?
But yeah, my mom and my grandmother are Jewish.
How did I never know this? Then you're Jewish.
We've
talked about it a lot.
We've talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm the guest on today's podcast.
But I totally reject it. I think it's a disgusting religion. I refuse,
dude. I grew up in the wrong suburbs. I didn't have like a ton of Jews around me, so I was like the only. I guess so. I feel like I got hit with slapped in the face with the wave of like, just especially kids like would always say wild shit about Jews to my face. Like, I don't know.
Like you smell bad.
Yeah,
I remember
wearing your sandals.
When I was trying to do, like, when I started doing like when I was early and I was trying to do like funny alt comedy, I had this weird joke about how Jews have like an evil third ear, and that's why they wear the yarmulke. And then like a Jewish comic in DC, Marty Litwag, was like, "Hey, that's a real stereotype, you asshole."
Really?
It's
third ear?
It's not third ear, but the yarmulke hides horns.
Yeah.
And he totally chewed me out. I was like, "I'm sorry, I always thought it was so silly." I had no idea.
We don't claim him.
Yeah.
I bet most Jews I know love a good horns joke.
Yeah, occasionally.
Yeah.
See, this is too. It's awesome.
Did you go to any of the Jewish like summer camps? Did you go to Camp Shai?
Yeah, I went to like one in like the border of Pennsylvania and Maryland called like Capital Camps. It was very bougie.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, it was bougie. It was an interesting experience.
Because you grew up in Silver Spring or DC?
North Potomac. North Potomac,
right.
Gaithersburg. Like I went to Quince Orchard High School.
That's what. So okay,
Yeah.
you are allowed to give me these.
Yeah, I am allowed to give you
Okay,
this.
so
that's
sorry.
why I was like, I don't know why you were insulted. For the you were so insulted that I gave you Old Bay goldfish.
No, this is okay. See,
and I was like,
thought
this is both of ours.
this is not a racist gift. This is a gift of brotherhood. This is like a shared slur between two people of the same race.
To be fair, we're from Maryland. We kind of do deserve racist gifts.
Totally.
I like to say
100%.
when people ask what DC is like in what Maryland, I think we're like the worst parts of the North and the worst parts of the South combined.
You're right, because I have so much Maryland pride until I go back, and I was just there for my sister's wedding, and I was like, this place is fucking dirt, dude. I hate this place so much.
And it's
well, I've never been. Give me like a specific example of what's so shit about it.
You seen The Wire?
It's like, I mean, Baltimore's cool, but like suburban and rural Maryland, it's like the South without any of like the culture.
Okay,
So
sure.
it's just you just have people with fucking stupid mid-Atlantic accents being racist, but then like there's nothing. They don't. The history there doesn't feel like it runs nearly as deep. I don't know.
And then I had that feeling in rural Midwest where I was like, this looks like towns I've been in the South, but the people are fucking massive and they're all gonna kill themselves. You know, like these people all weigh 400 pounds and like they're so sad.
I come from like the suicide capital of like Maryland. Like,
really? Where are you from again?
Anne Arundel County, Severna Park.
Okay, yeah.
And we would not stop killing ourselves at my high school. They had to do a whole special week. It's just because it is like this, like the town is just this culture vacuum where there's nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
everybody has nice houses, but they're dead inside.
Yeah, we had that for drunk driving.
Yeah, we had that too. For sure.
Did you guys do this thing? My high school do this thing where basically like one day of the year, kids would like come like all in. Certain kids would come all in white, like painted white as like ghosts, basically. And then we would have like in the middle of the day we would have this huge, and like they couldn't talk, the kids dressed as like couldn't talk, couldn't like do anything, they just sit in class. And then we'd have a big like what do you call it when they bring like the assembly huge assembly in the middle of the day where they bring everybody into the theater and they'd play a video on the screen where it was basically like a house party. It was like a kind of like oh, it's like, oh, we're at a house party and we're drinking, and it's like, oh, we're gonna go driving, and then the video would end with a crash. And then we would, everybody would go outside, and there'd be a wrecked car in front of the high school, and the fire department would come and like use the jaws of life, and there'd be people like screaming and crying and covered in fake blood.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
they would do the car on like prom night, but they didn't do this shit.
Yeah.
Was this a Jewish high school?
No, this is a public high school in North Baton. It was insane.
This sounds like those like anti-abortion hell houses that like Christians do.
Dude, let me tell you, it worked. I've like never once in my life, like, because like the other thing is that it would happen. Like I remember kids from another high school, like there were 4 of them. They were in a Jeep going too fast, and it rolled over, and everyone except for the driver died. And
that's always the worst fear too. That was always my fear.
Yeah, they got it.
You live and everybody else dies,
and then everybody's mad at you.
Yeah.
That's
and
worse.
Then they passed a law like named after one of the kids who died, and I was kind of just always like, okay, like when I drink, like touching a like steering wheel is just the one thing I'm not gonna do.
Yeah.
And then I came here and everybody's making drunk driving jokes, and I was like, oh, did they not get it beat out of them?
Let me tell you something. Naming a drunk driving law after a child who died in a drunk driving accident is such manipulative bullshit. All right, it's seriously, you can't. It's the best feeling in the world.
So that's the thing is like, all right, like most of the people I knew who died in high school either died of a drug overdose or drinking and driving. And we never had an assembly. And once a week, a kid would get hit out front of the high school. Somebody would be barreling down Blythedale and just take out a take on his lunch break. And
I feel like where Noah grew up, it was like one of those Nat Geo things where all the baby turtles are trying to make it into the ocean.
Yeah,
and there's like predators go. Like,
it was process of elimination. That's what it was.
The amount of dead kids in these stories is
you gotta be faster than a car or you're fucked. That's my neighborhood.
The kids just want to get McDonald's, and they're just getting run down as they try and get chicken nuggets.
Dude, it started when I was in elementary school. I watched a kid get knocked out of his helmet. He was riding his bike up a hill, and a car hit him, and his helmet flew off.
Oh my god! That's why everybody in your town is the apex of evolution. Like, they're all
exactly. Nature is still selecting in Marin.
We're fast. There's a lot of hills, so you got strong legs.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
But
the hill people.
Yeah, I think, and you were talking about how your high school was like the suicide capital. Mm-hmm. I hear that about like every high school.
We were actually ranked.
Cool. They had you on. They had a scoreboard.
We were on a leaderboard.
We were up there for heroin. That was the bit. Like in between me and my brother are 3 years apart. In those 3 years, there was like, I think like an average of 7 kids a year OD on heroin.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys
Something
have
like
you know those
maybe
things
it was
that,
total
like, factories where it's like days without an incident? Do you guys have like one of those?
Jason's last incident. Yeah.
Just in the like in the entryway to the school. Like, guys, we've made it 10 days.
Like, flip the fucking sign. Yeah.
And then one kid throws himself off the balcony right in front of it.
They would make announcements. We had an announcement one year when a girl jumped off the Bay Bridge to kill herself, and it was like, But it's like, come on, you're not gonna make me do math after this, dude.
Yeah.
This is early in the morning.
I remember still.
That is crazy to do it at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Trying to get in your head, dude.
God, was I in middle school or I want to say I was in middle school when Sandy Hook happened. And like, I was in school that
You
day.
were in that middle school?
No. I was in middle school because I was in 7th grade at that time.
Mm-hmm. How old are you?
I'm like 25.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you were.
Yeah, I was in middle school, and I remember just like the teacher putting up on the board like the newscast of it in my Spanish class, and her crying, and then having to go to like the next class, knowing,
my God, dude.
Yeah, knowing what had happened.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Wow, what a way to bum out a podcast.
Ian, it's not even the biggest
no
lull we've
idea.
had on the show. You have no idea.
I did a private gig about 2 weeks after Uvalde, and I was killing. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do a school shooting joke. I'm just going to do it and see how it goes. And it went like dead quiet, and it was super weird. And I like... apparently I got done, and the lady who hired me for the event came up and told me it was everybody there was a retired school teacher, and
Yikes!
it was a big thing.
Damn,
but
dude.
Nobody talked about Sandy Hook at my school, but when Steve Jobs died, I saw teachers crying.
Yeah, dude.
Like
That's
a lot
another-
of people freaking
I think
out.
the whole Steve Jobs thing is a bunch of like 30-year-old women wanted to fuck Steve Jobs, and that's where all the grief came from.
It's not even women. It's just like he hypnotized the world into worshiping him like a god, and it's like, what, he's not.
Yeah.
He was whatever. There's a great
Refer to
documentary.
Bill Burr's bit, I feel like.
Well, yeah, sure, that too.
Yeah.
But there's a great documentary about him called, I think it's called "The Ghost in the Machine," and it's all about how Steve Jobs is like this. Like, I mean, he's a psycho, obviously. Ex-Apple employees have stories about how like on their first day, Steve Jobs would like ask them personal details about their family. And this one guy was like, "Yeah, I confided to Steve that like I lost my father," and then whenever I'd fuck up, Steve Jobs would tell me how disappointed my dead father was in me. and the guy like loves for he was like, and I'm so glad he did that. He really pushed me, and it's like this is psychotic, dude.
It's the same thing with a lot of those chefs, like those like big celebrity, like the
Chefs I respect more because they're like food is more respectable to me, and also those chefs like are able to separate that. Like they're not psychos
a lot
all
of
the
those
time.
chefs are just abusive fucking assholes too, though.
I mean, I guess that's true. Your brother probably.
It's
knows.
romanticized to a degree, but even the ones I like Marco Pierre White, he's the
Yeah.
one who made
I love
Gordon
Marco
Ramsay
Pierre
cry
White.
famously.
Yeah.
Love him. I have like a man crush on him, whatever. But I mean, he would throw like hot soup at people, and shit, and like throwing knives and shit. And it's also that shit because my brother worked in some like kitchens that were like that, like Michelin, and they just they try and make you cry and shit just because you're not arranging parsley correctly. Like
I know
could not
this
fucking
thing
do
that's
that
about to be
shit.
mashed up by somebody's
Exactly,
teeth and
yeah.
digested.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing about Steve Jobs though is like he also just like was a psycho. Like he was using all these like he was like doing acid and it was helping him figure out like marketing you know what I mean?
See, but all the stuff you're saying are things that make me like him.
No, but what's funny is like he showed up. There was like a monastery near him, and he showed up to the monastery because he was like I think that I've achieved enlightenment. He was like, you should let me join because I've achieved enlightenment. And the monks just like laughed at him because they're like, you would never say that if that was
Right.
true. But then like he went through all of these in the documentary. The monks describe him as. They call it like the golden chain or something, or like the golden shackles, because like he had correctly integrated like some aspects of like what's the word I want to use? He integrated some aspects of enlightenment without like losing his ego, which turned him into like the psycho that he was.
Right.
Where it's like, okay, you want to rule the world, like you're tapped into yourself spiritually, but it's just for like making money and like selling people shit.
Those first couple iPhones were incredible.
Of course, yeah,
It worked.
definitely.
Like
I
they
think the
don't
last
do it
couple
like
were
that
pretty
anymore.
cool too. I don't know. I feel like
Well,
isn't it crazy that how predominant like the iPhone takeover is, because there used to be competition with phones.
There still is some. Like,
Android, that's it.
well, you got the Samsung ones, and those are like those Galaxy phones are pretty.
Isn't that
but that's the Android operating system. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about the hardware, but
Right.
yeah.
But
But I think it's more about the hardware at this point than it is the software.
I guess. I mean, to most people, it doesn't. I don't think it really matters. I mean, like, what? I don't know. Phones are they're simultaneously the most amazing, expensive machines that we have, and they're also like the most disposable thing on Earth. Like, and I think to Ian's point, like. But I also think we're just reaching this point as we like approach the singularity where like innovation is over as well. Like we're just gonna it does everything, and there's no need for like innovation because what else could it possibly do?
But AI is gonna keep innovating.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is a gay conversation.
I don't know. I think there's. I don't know, like. I think there's another great leap for us to make, but it's not in. But the problem is that we can't make it yet because we haven't figured out how to be efficient with energy yet. Like, and that's the big problem because everything requires so much energy.
We need to become a type 2 civilization, man.
We need to stop doing that. We need to go back to like mills.
These are type 1 conversations.
Let's
I hate
talk
this
about
shit.
Killing ourselves again.
Dude, remember when we were talking about school
like that.
shootings?
I hate efficiency. I should have known Ian was going to be like this because you like the CIA. I forgot that you were this guy.
You like the CIA?
Ian loves the CIA.
What's funny is I was listening to Nick's like thing, and I was going like, "This is kind of gay," and then I was like, "You know what? But I'm gonna just hit the ball back over," and then I did, and then you were like, "This is gay."
It was
and I was like, "Fuck, I missed my chance."
It was gay chicken, and I lost.
I missed my chance to get ahead of it, dude. All right.
Yeah,
fuck.
no, Ian's all. I was freaking out about like the Navy released this official video of like one of their destroyers using like a direct energy weapon, which is like a conspiracy, which is something that people have been telling me is fake for decades, and then they flat out just like published a picture of like their destroyer using a direct energy weapon.
Oh yeah, that's been in development since like 2000. That's been public knowledge since
He thinks
2005.
it's great. He likes it. Ian's like, look, we have to listen. If Joe Biden got Havana syndrome, that's it's going to happen. You know what can you
So
say?
you just go to like third world countries and there's like not enough cocaine here. There's not enough just blow and slavery.
No. I'm not like pro CIA. Like I wouldn't say I'm pro, but I do feel like sometimes I have these moments where like I don't know. I was
You want to be a
about
spy
this.
a little bit.
Yeah, well, like I was reading about there's this part like branch of like the army called I'm playing out of like it's like their intelligence
Are you talking
agency.
about the ghosts, like the
Zeid who shagged me.
like the psywarfare?
No,
one?
it's like
That's his last
they're
name,
like
right?
the part of special ops command, and they're just called the activity, and like they're all
That's
about
like a Jersey Shore name, dude.
yeah. But I'm like, if that is not like the coolest, like, and part of me is like, I should have learned like Pashtun and been in Afghanistan. Like, there's a little part of me that.
Could you imagine this guy trying to blend in the fucking Middle East? He's like, Alhamdulillah. Praise be to Allah. I'm spying on you.
Oh my God, Ian!
I'm in the closet.
Ian,
I'm
bagels
listening.
here.
I'm planting bugs in your
Ian,
house.
you're the coolest guy I've ever met in my life, dude. That's crazy. You just said the craziest thing I've ever heard. I should have been in Afghanistan. Yeah,
dude.
What would you
Fuck.
do in Afghanistan?
I don't know, activity stuff. That's
What
how
does the
secret they are. You don't
activity
even
do?
know what they do.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know.
No, it's probably
Well,
good
like that-
stuff. It's probably
Yeah,
it's probably
like-
nothing.
Probably
You don't get to be
teach
named the
kids.
activity if you're not at least like doing something cool.
That's
Yeah,
such
I
a
guess
Jersey
that's true.
Shore fucking
Like,
the situation,
Oh
dude.
my God.
they're not just like filing paper all day.
Yeah,
And there's
no,
a
That'd
There's
actually be great.
There's
though,
a
if that's-
special ops version of the activity called Blacktivity,
yeah. Uh huh.
and they do black ops.
That's right.
What were you thinking?
Nothing.
What did you think I meant?
Not at all.
I meant because like black ops activity.
Yeah.
Blacktivity.
No, I got it.
Yeah. It was very easily spelled out.
Just to make sure. Let the record show.
I mean, listen. The CIA would be awesome if good and evil was if all wars were actually based on like good and evil. It would be sick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're based on like stuff that's way muddier. You know.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
What can you say?
I don't know, it used to be.
Well, I feel like
World
that's-
War II was pretty good and evil,
World-
which was
World War
nice.
II World
that
War
was
II was
great
good
that
and
we
evil,
did
for
actually
sure.
have a good and evil war.
But even World War II, it's like it reaches a point where it's like it was good and evil up to a point, and then like you do some stuff in there where you're like, oh, what are we doing, man?
Yeah,
this,
here
is
it
a,
comes.
this is a bummer.
6 million, 2
No,
million.
not that part. That's
No.
that's the good part, obviously. Or that's
6
the bad-
million. That's good.
Yes. What was that again, Nick?
Yeah.
That's the part where we did the good
Clip
thing,
that.
right? Even though I
Clip
don't,
that,
even
Zach.
though I don't think that the U.S. knew that was happening when we went into
We
Europe.
kind of knew, and we kind of. It's
Well,
weird.
we also got a giant shipment of Jews that we turned away. We
Yeah.
were like,
Yeah.
yeah, that were like, hey.
oh, you were serious about that?
Yeah, they were like, hey, they're killing us, and we're like, yeah,
They're not
we're fine.
here.
Yeah,
They could come. They could leave, but you didn't say they were coming here.
but shout out Nazis for getting us to space. You know, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Moon's also evil. You can't go to space. NASA's got to go. Basically every
How
government
quick
organization.
until we make the moon racist?
Moon is already racist.
Pretty
dude.
quick, dude.
Moon is straight up
Because
demonic.
you think about it, it's going to be colonies and shit. And what do we do in a prison colony? You know,
Yeah.
quickly
Moon
the
slaves.
races.
You do not want moon slaves.
Yeah.
Those are going to be a mess.
Yeah, dude.
We're talking.
We're gonna have woods. Well, what are they called? The white California gang.
Oh yeah, Woods.
Woods. We're gonna have Woods on the West Watsons on the fucking moon.
What if we just get like hippie co-ops on the moon?
We'll have those
It
two.
won't. The CIA will stop that from happening.
Yeah, dude. That's how I felt about aliens, though. How you feel about the direct energy lasers?
Yeah.
The aliens was like the thing that people have literally been getting like laughed out of. Like people destroyed the relationships with their family because they liked UFOs and shit too much, and then it was just like, oh no, it's real.
Yeah.
We
I
get
think
reports
it's-
of it all the time.
When
Jimmy
you look-
Carter.
Yeah,
when
dude.
you look back at it and you're like how people used to like you said like destroy the relation with their family because of believing in aliens, and now with like the crazy people we have, like with like QAnon and stuff, it's like wow, we used to be so mean.
Yeah.
So mean.
That's true.
It's like these people were just like, yeah, there's other life
Yeah.
somewhere out there in the stars, and they're like, you're the dumbest human I've ever met. And now there's people who are like, hey, the Clintons have child sex slaves in a pizza shop,
And those people are like breeding.
Yeah.
Like, those people have found a community.
Yeah, and they have a whole community.
Yeah.
And then for years, we were just like, if you believe in aliens and ghosts, I think you should be in a hospital.
Yeah, you got to go.
Yeah,
And that
that's
was before
hilarious.
flat Earth. Isn't it crazy that how long was there just people who thought Earth was flat the whole time?
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
I mean, if you go back far enough, yes.
no, but not if you go back far enough. But like people used to think the Earth was flat,
Right.
and then it's like we stopped doing that, and then it was like in the last 15 years, it's Earth's flat. We got flat Earthers.
Earth's
again.
flat again. Yeah, I mean,
Was
I
it
guess
like it's like a dormant? You know, it's like a dormant gene, the flat Earth gene.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Listen, if I was like, who's it? Was it Galileo? Which one of them figured out the Earth was round? Galileo?
I think so. Yeah, and then the church got all mad.
I
at him.
wouldn't. If it's the Renaissance or whatever, and somebody's like Earth is round, I'm like, what? That does not.
Yeah.
Doesn't affect me.
No.
I can't believe it ever caught on. Honestly.
Yeah. Today,
That's my
the
feeling.
modern version of that would be like the Earth is a fucking cube.
Yeah, sure.
It kind of makes sense, but I felt so dumb after I said it. Oh, fuck. I'm no Galileo, folks.
No, I mean, telling me the Earth is
More
round
like
is like
Galileo.
is like telling me anything about like it's like, oh, things are so bad in Sudan. I'm like, I have no way of knowing if that's true or not, and I can't find out, dude.
Speaking of Galileo, you know what I learned about Spartans?
Yeah, I
Same
do.
kind of shit.
No, I know actually.
You
what
you
learned.
follow,
I already-
yeah.
No, you don't have to say it 'cause
When
I
they
know.
would marry women, they would turn the lights off, and their new wives would like bick their heads because they were trying to ease their transition off of
boys.
pussy.
Wait,
Yeah.
Oh damn.
off of fucking boys
Because they were so used to homosexual
Were
love.
they fucking boys to like ready themselves for bad to like keep the adrenaline going? Would they have like?
I think
orgies
they were
before
just only
battle?
around. It was just the boys, dude.
Right,
It
it's
was
like
just a bunch
prison.
of horny boys.
Yeah.
300 exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It was so good they needed like Suboxone for it.
Yeah, dude.
That's some really good boy fucking that they had to like dose off.
the detox.
Yeah, they had to
Dude.
taper.
Don't back 300 gay boys into a corner.
That's all pussy.
I'm
And-
saying.
and by
I
the
don't
way,
think 300
women-
straight men could have held off the Persian army.
What an awesome own on women. Women, all your pussy is a methadone butt.
yeah.
Don't ever feel too proud of it.
And this is how we celebrate Pride Month here at the pod.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw somebody announce. So
Zeid month.
somebody shared it is Zeid month.
It's Pride. Well,
gonna
no,
keep-
it's not Zeid months.
I saw something that was so awesome. Somebody shared something on Facebook that said June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I was like,
Just-
yoink. I was like, that's right, dude.
You just beat me to saying that.
Yeah.
I saw that too. People got mad because, like, I saw, like, apparently, like, EA, whoever makes like the Tom Clancy games, made a tweet about it. It's like men's, which is I think hilarious for a competitive video game company to be tweeting. It's like, hey, it's men's mental health awareness month. You're all mentally ill
Yeah.
for playing our game.
I mean, yeah. Could Could you imagine?
Like I'm trying
He's
to
like, for this entire month, if you break your screen,
Yeah.
you get a free one. Like,
Again, it was literally like, don't be afraid to take the mask off and take a break.
Yeah.
It is sort of alarming to be like, yeah, what it was like. I play a game every day where I'm like a strong, powerful military man, and they get shot in the face 100 times. I just die over and over.
yeah.
That's probably.
But people were getting mad because they were like, "No, it's Pride Month," and I was like, "Well, I don't think we should have months because there's so many things that people are like, oh,
Go
this needs a
ahead.
month, but we have 12 months."
Yeah.
Yep.
And then people get mad when we have to double up stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I
you're
feel
right.
like there should be days. I feel like
You're right. There should be
enough-
Pride Day.
There shouldn't look. They shouldn't not exist
Like,
altogether.
I think there should be days, like, and we can have multiple days.
Gay days. We have days where you can be gay. Other days for other people.
I actually love what Ian is saying right now.
I like it
I
too.
think- but like, and I feel like we should always be learning about it always,
Yeah.
right? And but I feel like if we just start giving up, people are just gonna keep getting mad at each other.
Yeah.
They're like, no, it's mental health awareness month. No, it's Pride Month. No, it's fucking turtle month.
Well, if you
It's-
wanted to be
it's just-
this guy, you could be like, well, how many men are there in the world? How many trans people are there?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
I'm not
whoa,
gonna go
whoa,
there.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Benjamin.
Maybe we should get 2 months. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true.
You can clip that. Yeah, I don't know. I think there should be an Italian month. don't
Italian
think-
month would be nice.
I think
Yeah,
if,
isn't
I
that
think if
just
they
what
gave
June
Jews a
is?
month, people would get too mad.
yeah,
it
we
wouldn't
don't,
be
I don't even
allowed.
like that you guys have 8 days. Kind of pisses me
Oh,
off.
but you want an Italian? Buddy, it's June.
June?
Yeah.
Why?
You think
It's
Ju-
Pride Month.
Is the Italian month? Hey. Damn, dude, we're gonna get a bunch
God,
of.
they are so
That's
fucking
angry
gay.
I like how under the radar that flew.
Yeah, dude. Living with your mom till you're 35.
It is fun. It is funny. Italians are like the gayest people who will still like kill you over saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, but then like they'll. I've never met a weepier, you know. This
Yeah,
is
just
not
sitting outside a deli eating salami, fucking trying to get the cum out of their ass. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh no, I love them.
Zach, you're Italian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Oh yeah, you are.
He just gave you a fucking Godfather fucking look right now, dude.
Zach, how do you feel about
like,
this?
He's not mic'd up, but Zach, you're so.
He goes, now you can't leave.
Zach, you're so not Italian coded. Does anybody? I don't clock you except for the last name.
I think the fact that he's low key about it is very Italian.
it is true.
Sometimes you
But
gotta
he's-
know when
but
to keep
Zach-
your mouth shut.
But then also being high key about it would be very Italian.
It's so unfair because he can't respond, but he doesn't talk with his hands. He doesn't cry over nothing.
well,
like,
he can't. It's harder. I mean, he only has like one available arm. Right
Which
now.
hand you been jerking off with? What are you doing? Left?
His left
So
one,
it
yeah.
feels kind of better, right? No?
dude, you know what's crazy? I've never.
No,
I
it's
don't
just
think-
a bunch of clumsy,
Yeah.
shitty.
Wait, can I be
fucking-
honest? Okay,
I've
so
I've never admitted this. I'm sorry. I'll
Yeah,
let me
you
get
go,
this
you
out,
go.
and then I've never admitted this on the podcast. But you know, I'm right-handed, and this is 12 years ago. I switched to jerking off left-handed just to
Yeah.
see what it is. I can only jerk off with my left hand.
Yeah,
what
that's
I
what
do
happened
too.
with cigarettes.
Yeah.
When I started driving, I had to switch because I could only hold my left hand out the window.
It's
And
like
so now I smoke with my left hand though when I smoke.
I'm ambidextrous, but just for coming, which is so frustrating.
Yeah. Well, I usually start with the left hand because that's when I'm trying to like psych myself up, and then I close with the right hand.
Really, the dark
I
thing
take
about
it home.
It makes you the thing that's so dark about it is I've gotten like it's turned me into a monster because I can scroll perfectly with this hand. So, like, I can like type things in. I can change the video. while
Maybe
I'm
that's
watching.
how humans evolved the dexterity in our fingers, jerking off. But
Jerking
then
off.
monkeys would have it too because they jerk off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monkeys have pretty good dexterity, don't they?
I do have a question. So, okay, so does Zach just have to like sit there and not talk?
Because you're on, yes. Man, I think we only have 4 ports in this pod
Okay.
track.
We
but,
normally have an electric collar, and sometimes when he tries to pipe up,
I
we
was gonna
give him
say
a
that's
little
like
zap.
the meanest thing you can do to a stand-up comic is be like, "Hey, we're all gonna talk and be funny, but you
Yeah,
have to
we're all gonna
sit
talk,
in
and
there."
it's not even gonna be that good,
Believe
and you
me.
just have
And
to
then- but
sit
you
there
then-
quietly.
believe me, I feel bad about it. Every time Zach doesn't have a mic, I want to get him one. But
Yeah,
listen,
and every time we have him on, it's good. I don't know.
yeah, Zach's the man.
You could get him like one of those little plastic ones, just so he feels.
Seriously, that'd be funny. Would you like that, Zach? He's nodding his head yes, dude. He's giving me the biggest grin I've ever seen.
He's like,
He's licking a big
No,
lollipop.
he's our little humble,
he's got a
quiet
little-
Italian dude.
he's got a little helicopter hat.
He does love the CIA.
Yeah, he does. He's doing psywarfare on you, dude. Oh my
god! The name of the episode going to be the one where Ian does psychological warfare.
It's gonna be called the Zeid Eye.
What's your take on the Oklahoma City bombing? What do you think? Do you think Terrence Yakey actually committed suicide in the field with 5 gunshot wounds to the head? What do you think happened there?
I remember talking about this with you.
We don't have to talk about the Oklahoma City bombing, dude. I'm just kidding. God bless him.
I wish him well.
Yeah, they saw 2 people in the van. That's so funny that Timothy McVeigh apparently acted alone. But you know, multiple witnesses.
You sound
Multiple
really
witnesses.
beat up about it.
Listen, just whenever innocent, American lives are lost over nothing, there's a patriotism in me that gets activated. You know,
I like how it's crazy that I slightly enjoy the CIA.
Yeah,
but you can be really, really upset about the Oklahoma City bombing.
Who wouldn't be upset about that?
It's Oklahoma, dude.
That's not the point I'm trying to. No, it's right to be upset about it, but you're upset about it for a very different reason.
I'm upset about it because something strange happened. What can I say?
Go ahead.
Barely less funny than the Boston Marathon. It's barely less funny.
Oh my god!
It's just a bunch of Bill Burrs getting blown in the air at the same time. That's hilarious.
It was like children.
It was like children. Yeah, tiny Bill Burrs flying through the air. A bunch of little boondock saints flying into the river.
My fucking shin's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. I'll never run again.
All those kids would have grown up.
I did love being a boy and growing up and loving 9/11, as I've covered before.
You're a boy?
No, I once was a boy. You could argue that I'm still sort of a
now
boy.
you're a man.
Yeah, but when I went to Baltimore and saw that we had a World Trade Center, I got excited. I was like, maybe a plane will hit this one, dude. Yeah. this could be fun.
Do we have a World Trade Center?
I think there's
Chicago?
World Trade Centers all over the place.
We got the Sears Tower.
Yeah. Well, no, we don't have. It's Willis Tower, but they may
Shut the fuck up! It's the Sears Tower.
Sears Tower.
It is.
I don't care what it says on a little paper.
Yeah, no,
okay.
that's the
tower.
paid for name.
Yeah.
I think they might change it back to the Sears Tower. They're talking about doing
It's
that.
never. It's always been the Sears Tower.
Okay. Wow.
Right.
Damn, I got bullied hard.
That's the
it's Sears
sentiment.
Tower. I'm not even from
That's the sentiment
city.
of people who wait. You're not even from. He's not even from
That's
here.
why I was so
Yeah.
surprised by what he
Yeah.
said.
Sears Tower. Just like it is, it's the Verizon Center.
It's like when your cousin tries to change. It's like when your cousin
Right.
decides she's bisexual, wants to change her name, and it's like, all right, I'm not going to call you Absinthe or whatever. It's Julie. That's how we feel about the Sears Tower.
That was honestly, I had that when the Staples Center turned into Crypto.com Arena.
Oh my god.
In Los Angeles. I was like,
Is it still named that?
I'm pretty sure it's still the Crypto.com Arena. It might be something else, but I remember when it stopped being the Staples Center.
Didn't Crypto.com go bankrupt?
You made me pick
me
it
look
up
this
off
up.
your lap. I tried to give you a chance to pick it up.
Is it weird that I made you pick it up off my lap, or is it weird that you just went?
Well,
for
I
it?
knew you weren't going to do
Oh,
anything
okay.
about it, so I just did it.
Okay.
Is it the Staples Center
God,
again?
it tastes like your
No, it's the Crypto.com Arena.
It's the Crypto.com
Yep,
Arena.
Still the Crypto.com
Dude,
Arena.
pretty soon we're gonna have a sports stadium that's like named after an OnlyFans model.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I get
can't
so
wait
mad
till-
when like my shark Instagram accounts are like posting OnlyFans girl. I'm like, I'm trying to look at my sharks. Get these titties out of my face.
I don't know, dude. Twitter has basically gone downhill since I used to follow this account that was just called Every Color Bot, and it was a bot that posted every color, and it has not posted in 5 years, and there are still colors, and it's not posted.
Oh my god.
And every day I wait for the colors.
Well, there aren't infinite. I don't know.
No,
I guess,
there's pretty much an infinite amount of colors.
of color combinations. The primary colors, there's just 3.
Yeah, that's how that worked. It wasn't just constantly posting blue, yellow, and red.
Just new colors.
At some point, you are kind of licking the bag with colors, I think.
Yeah, but you know what? Every day, sometimes it would surprise you.
Funny way to put it.
Sometimes it'd be like, oh, that's a really pretty shade of green.
Damn, dude, you're
Now
such
my
a
day
pure
is better.
fucking. You should not have gone to Afghanistan. We couldn't. You have too pure of a heart.
Yeah, you're looking.
Hey, there's no. Yesterday was seafoam green.
Could you imagine Ian calling a drone strike on like a family and then
like,
soy
that's a
phasing
fusion.
into color purple?
Dude,
I'm gonna remember that shade of red.
Seafoam indigo.
It's called Inside of the Neck Pink.
Yeah.
it's child soldier umber.
Blood splatter red.
Ian, you're incredible, dude. I'm very glad that we have you on. I had something. Oh, dude, I was flying back. I had the most like awkward experience of my life flying back because I flew back on Spirit. I was at my sister's wedding, and I didn't want to get sick again. And I felt like a tickle in my throat when we were leaving. I was like, all right, I'm probably going to fucking wear a mask on this flight just because I don't want to get anything. And I'm getting ready to put the mask on, and then the dude who comes down the plane who sits next to me, he's like a 6 foot tall dude in a gothic MAGA hat. I'm like, okay, well, now I can't wear the mask. I can't be locked in like
mouth kiss until this thing lands.
What the hell's a gothic MAGA hat?
It's a
Dark
black MAGA hat.
It's the Musk one. The
Yeah.
one on Musk.
Oh, okay.
He just elbows you in the fucking ribs. He's like, be a man.
There is a thing now where
ketamine.
it feels like people are like, it's like people don't even like tell you if they're sick anymore. Like if you're afraid of getting sick, you're like a lib.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like COVID. I'm so glad that it's done and doesn't exist anymore and hasn't for 3 years.
Some would say it never did.
It's it's one of those things. Like if you have COVID, just fucking don't tell anybody. Just keep it in your back pocket. You know.
Well, yeah, but also maybe like just stay away from people. Maybe like don't give it to people.
No, spit in toddlers' sippy cups, dude.
Yeah.
You got to build up their immunity, dude.
Yeah.
You know, in Sweden, they let their kids sleep out in the cold.
Really?
Yeah, no, they do.
It is true, but I just feel like those things are said in unison or in by the same people.
You never want to.
This is something I feel like me and you will vibe on. Fucking God bless Jon Stewart, right?
Yeah.
You like Jon Stewart?
Yeah, of course I like Jon Stewart.
I feel like so I'm healed. Like however discombobulated I felt after all the years of like, it was just Jon Stewart was gone.
That's
like,
you're right.
With the Avatar, like when the world needed him most, he fucking disappeared into an iceberg.
Well, he's back and it's not getting any better.
But all you need is to
Really
me to feel
shitty
okay.
Avatar.
All you need is one person who's like saying things kind of how, or like able to point at the ridiculousness of shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's like the messiah.
It
for
was
that.
cool when Stewart went on Colbert and they were talking about COVID,
And he was like, yeah, it's a lab
it
leak.
definitely came
Yeah.
from a lab. And you can see Colbert like losing his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Stewart's the man. It's crazy that we sat through however many years of Trevor Noah. It was so wrong they did that to us.
I liked Trevor Noah, which is I feel like a
never
hot
mind. I
take,
take
but
back what I said.
I believe you.
I believe you.
I don't know, like I enjoyed him. I've seen him do stand up before. I actually
Oh, he's a great stand-up.
he's a great
funny
stand up.
guy.
But there were times
Also, really hard to like. I've seen his stand-up. It's not bad. It's not like
I
cringy.
would characterize it as not bad.
Yeah, but I feel like it was really already an impossible task to fill Jon Stewart's shoes, and then like I think Jordan Klepper kind of sucks, dude. Like whenever whenever it's not Jon Stewart, like it can only be him.
Yeah. I was a Larry Wilmore head.
Larry Wilmore.
Larry
that would've
Wilmore.
been
People
a
don't even remember that he had a show.
Yeah, dude. No, it was bad.
which
I
is
don't.
really unfortunate.
He is like
I love Steve Bannon. That's my guy.
Steve
Franken.
Bannon was cool because Steve Bannon at least he used to dress so cool. He had the coolest outfits, but also he always had like a scab on his face. That
Well,
like
he was always scabbed up, and he was always talking about angels and demons. And I'm like, that's a warfare I understand.
Yeah.
That's one. That's a fight I have every day.
I do feel like Noah was kind of built for angels and demons. I think
Angels and demons.
that's what your angels.
Well,
your
I don't
mind
think I was
also.
built to fight. I think I was just built to.
I just mean genetically.
to
Like you should be
plow
holding.
a field while other people are doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I think good versus evil while I'm
Like I think a venomous snake could
make
bite
a
you and
rock
you'd
suit.
be all right.
you are the meek waiting to inherit the earth.
Yeah, that's what I am.
Don't you think
100%.
Noah could get bit by a rattlesnake and just somehow be fine?
No,
little bit.
No.
I would be really worried if Noah got bit by a rattlesnake.
I think I'd be okay later. I don't
Yeah.
think I'd die of
I
it.
wouldn't want to test it, but I feel like you have that.
Yeah, I feel like my
then you-
ancestors have been out in tents with them long enough that I think I have some natural.
You have some
know.
like you get like nerve
I've never
damage.
gotten poison oak.
That's
you know?
no talc
Have you
fun.
guys heard about the guy who let 200 snakes bite
Yeah,
him?
yeah.
Yeah. Like so 9/11 happens and he's like, I'm just gonna start letting snakes bite
I like
me.
this. Wait, was that an association that they made in the article that you
Yeah,
read?
that was.
I don't know. So 9/11 happened.
This guy got so fucked up by 9/11. He was like, "Fuck it, dude. Let the snakes have me."
I did
My
not
body
know that
sucks.
was the reason.
Like 5 days after, he's like, I'm just gonna start letting the snakes bite me.
It was just patriotism.
Dude,
He
you
was like,
cannot. You cannot let 9/11 scare you that bad. All right.
I don't even know if he was scared. He's like, I'm just gonna find the cure of the venom, and he just started letting snakes bite him, and now he basically has.
They've used his blood to create like antivenoms and stuff.
Yeah, like
That's
a universal
crazy.
antivenom.
What does that have to do with
That's
9/11?
like, I don't know.
Neither do I,
Yeah.
but they brought it up in the article.
But it's like literally that shit in Princess Bride where he's like, I developed an immunity to iocane powder.
Oh, right.
It's like
Yeah.
real life, that guy.
Yeah, my favorite thing is, so I was then Googling that guy, which led me to another guy who lived in
We're
Miami.
Jewish, it's different. We die from bee stings.
Yeah, pretty
I feel
much.
like.
I've been doing this joke about, because I have like pollen allergies.
I do too.
Yeah, and because the way allergies work is that your body perceives something to be a threat.
Flowers.
Yeah, so that means I went outside when the world is at its
they're
like best and
blooming.
prettiest,
Yeah.
and my body was like,
They're
this
blooming
isn't
right
gonna
at
work.
me.
Yeah.
Like this
Colours.
is bad actually.
It's clashing, all the colors.
Yeah.
No, but okay, so I found that there's another guy who would let snakes bite him, but it was for entertainment. He ran a place called, I think it was the Snakeporium in Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
And he used to do this thing where people would come and watch, and he'd basically just be like, I'm gonna hold a snake and it's not gonna bite me, and then it would bite him most of the time.
He's like 0 and 50.
That's a cool fucking guy, dude.
Yeah.
The attitude to keep going back at it, though.
Yeah.
And he's getting more and more nervous every time, so it's just making the snake more likely to bite him.
And you'd be like, well, when was this happening? Like the 1920s? It was like, no, the 80s.
Yeah.
And but he's doing like Wild West entertainment where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
we just finished tilling the sand. What are we supposed to go do?
Yeah.
Well, it's like old Bill's gonna wrangle some scorpions.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's like one of my favorite like eras of Dennis Hopper.
You can come see my snake emporium, too.
Oh yeah, he's got a bunch of snakes in his bedroom.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Dude, speaking of Wild Western, there's like one of my favorite examples of that is like you guys know the actor Dennis Hopper.
Oh yeah,
I
of
think so.
course. Yeah, yeah.
Dennis Hopper had like a career slump in like the 70s and 80s. He was doing a lot of movies in Germany, but when he would come back to America, what he would do to make money because he wasn't getting cast in movies is he would go to like rodeos and he would blow himself up. And there's
Oh,
there's
no
a
way.
video of it, and like and this is the extent of Dennis Hopper blowing himself up. They pile on some chairs over him, and he like lays under them, and then they explode like TNT over his body.
Really?
And then he comes like running out of the smoke. It's
Oh, my God.
there's a great video
That's
where like he
amazing.
comes, he's like covered in soot, he's clapping, he's like, "Let's give it up for professional people, man." It's like, dude, you were in the movies.
That's
Yeah.
a pretty good Dennis Hopper too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that kind of entertainment, especially like in the age of fucking like TikTok and we got to get back to that. We got to get back to people
We
fucking.
still have that, dude. Have you not seen the Juggalo guy who just jumps onto like barbed wire for no reason?
Yeah, dude.
So cool.
He just like
so
headbutts
cool.
refrigerators in his yard.
Wait, the guy who's like fully autistic? Yeah.
He goes, woo, woo, and then he just like headbutts a refrigerator.
Why
or
are
he'll,
there
like,
refrigerators
or
in
he'll
his
take
yard?
he'll take his shirt off and jump off a table onto a giant thing of Legos. Like,
And he doesn't add any sound effects or anything, so you just hear the like dull thud of like the refrigerator hitting his spleen.
Yeah, he just goes, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen? I think the video is called "Nasty Nasty Juice." It's a juggalo. I forget what the juggalo's name is, but he's trying to prank his other juggalo friend who's named the Tempest.
The Tempest?
So he's got
The Tempest in the activity should start a game, dude.
He's got a bucket of what he calls nasty juice that he tries to. He's got the door ajar and he's trying to put the bucket on top of it so that when the Tempest, whoever that is, comes
He's trying to do
through,
a carry.
he'll get dunked and the shit just falls on him immediately. He gets hit by his own nasty juice. This is the best video I've ever seen.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, we're still out here doing good stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, we just don't need to do it with like something else attached to it now. You
I
don't
think
have to
what-
go to
yeah.
a rodeo to do it. You can do it at home
Yeah.
for the biggest rodeo in the world.
I think
But
what
I
we
think
need is a
the
new.
rodeo is what made it great.
We need like an
I
America's
guess we
Funniest
did all
Home
come together
Videos
for it.
dark web edition.
Yeah.
Like same show, same host, but it's just like dark web clips.
Yeah.
You know, and like a
still gotta-
live audience that's like laughing.
You still have like the corny commentary.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, looks like she fell into the spike pit.
Yeah, they put fucking cartoon noises over an ISIS
It's like,
beheading video.
oh, that's a wood chipper. Arms don't go in there.
Yeah.
It's you know.
That would be awesome. That would be nice.
Where everybody just watches I Am the Walrus and gets spooked
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
You know, that would be
Fun fact: they never found her body. Yeah, dude. That'd be good.
Yeah. No, we got to get back to that. We have to get back to fuck. I guess Noah's right. We do still do it, but I kind of like the idea of bringing back like bear pits, like Ian's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I think America is just one of the places that doesn't do it anymore because like
We have a lot of
They
tigers
got the
and
running
shit.
of the bulls. Yeah.
Yeah, because like Thailand, you've still got the people driving motorcycles in a dome, like up the walls and stuff. Or
That's
like,
awesome.
Oh, they
in
do that.
Russia-
They do that.
I found a Russian video of a grizzly bear skateboarding. You know,
I saw that.
Oh, that's great.
That's classic Russian
I
shit.
saw-
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I
They
saw
really
a
do.
video of
Circus
like
bears.
They made
of like I think like
grizzly bears their
monkeys
bitch.
in Vietnam driving scooters like in a race.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, yeah, that rules.
They're
It's
called
so
Vietnamese
cool.
people. Okay,
Oh
that's
my
actually
God,
fucked up of you to say.
What?
Jesus.
We don't call them monkeys. That's
know,
really
like-
fucked up of you. What? I'm just saying. Sorry, we're trying to be a little more woke on this
This is gonna
podcast.
suck when tomorrow HR calls me in and
Yeah?
they're like, hey, you want to explain
You,
this?
you got a job with HR. You should just be grateful of that. Okay. There's not that much infrastructure in our jobs. They don't have a whole department.
Oh my god.
I work for a place that's about to go under. So
All right.
Well, I have brought up a sore
sorry.
subject.
I'm sorry.
Do you have any more complaining about your job that's about to go under to do? Or?
No, I don't know. That's
That
okay.
was rude of me. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. I
that
don't
was
own the
very
business.
rude of me.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to feel bad
Dude,
about
sometimes
anything.
I don't know. I'll say stuff and then I just feel immediately bad. Like I was hanging out with some other.
What is that? What's that like?
Quincy, hey, come here.
Quincy.
Hey,
Come here.
Come here.
Yep. He sees a fat
Not
white
that.
lady.
Thank you for getting me out of that
She
conversation,
sees-
Quincy.
No, what did you say that made you feel bad?
And then it's never anything bad. I don't know. I was hanging out with my friend, some of my friends, and we were at his place, and he was talking about how like he had like a little thing of cigarettes on his desk, and he's like, yeah, when I met my now girlfriend, like I was smoking cigarettes, and I told her I smoked cigarettes, and she didn't like that, so I've stopped smoking cigarettes, but I still have the one. And I was just like, that cigarette is gonna hit so hard when you guys break up. It's gonna be, and I was like, I'm sorry, but it's gonna be incredible. Like,
You're gonna smoking it like True Detective. Like,
you're gonna come home, you're gonna wanna cry, you're gonna see the cigarette, and then you're gonna go outside and you're gonna smoke it in silence for 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And then you're gonna come inside and cry.
Yeah.
I could, man.
And then I felt bad immediately the next day.
See, I didn't have like a sentimental cigarette. I had sentimental like packs of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like, when I got sad, there would be a pile of butts.
Do you guys have like sad, like when I am at my most depressed, I'll turn on Pink Floyd's The Wall and I'll just lay on the floor like
God,
comatose.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like without
Just see
moving.
colors.
Yeah.
Just getting another dimension.
Oh no! Just like face down,
Scrolling the
face down,
Twitter account.
in, like just laying face down on the floor,
It's like-
and I'll do that for like I don't know 2-3 hours.
We don't need no education.
I just burned myself.
Just now what?
What?
Just now?
No.
When
I'm
he's sad.
Oh.
When he's obviously.
Yeah,
when
no,
he's
Yeah.
sad.
yeah, Noah burns himself.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cool thing I do. It's just like a cool, complicated thing I like to do.
I just convinced myself I'm not sad, but I stopped showering or cleaning my room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it usually lasts a couple years.
Yeah. Depression's crazy. Depression will rob 4 years from you like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude, what the fuck was I doing?
Yeah.
And when I got my haircut, and Nick immediately clocked me. He was like, "I see what you're doing. You're pulling yourself out of the abyss right now, my friend."
Yeah.
I was like, "Don't say it out loud."
Getting a haircut's crazy. Getting a haircut is the most mind-altering experience of your
Yeah,
life.
dude.
I remember my first haircut after COVID. I had a very beautiful Latina. I was like, I'm gonna.
This is a sore subject for Noah.
Oh, really?
Oh no, I didn't know. Go for it. Do
Oh,
it.
sorry. We've talked about this too
Yeah,
on the podcast already.
Yeah.
But when you get a haircut, it is such a like you're gonna come in your pants. If you get a haircut after like 6 months, it's
I
crazy.
knew he was about to go there.
Yeah. No, I did too. Let's say that stuff.
She's gonna be cutting dudes like this hair, dude. Animals like this.
I know, and I hate
Well,
it.
listen,
Yeah.
I was insanely. Listen, it's not COVID anymore. I was so touch starved. I had no idea this was going to happen. I wanted a man. All right. I did not want the lady that I got,
Yeah.
but I saw her coming. I was
I want bingo. That's to me nostalgic. I want bingo flaps in my face while they're washing my hair. That's the experience for me.
you want to go to Sports Clips?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten a professional haircut in like 6 years because the last time I did it there was this just really eccentric gay Filipino dude with big sunglasses on inside while he was cutting my hair.
no.
And he got excited cutting my hair and then just cut me with like diagonal bangs, like straight across like that.
no.
I had to push him up into a hat and leave it like that.
Wow.
And it grew out into a bowl cut.
Yeah.
Gundam
So
style.
I've only done buzz cuts pretty much for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
I feel like I had
I
a
couldn't
lady-
do it. I couldn't pull off the buzz cut, dude.
Every time I get an Asian lady cutting my insanely straight hair, they're always like, "Are you Asian?" I'm like, "Nope, sorry,
No.
girlfriend is."
Yeah, dude. Imagine how straight your kid's hair is gonna be, dude.
Well, my hair's
It's gonna be like rigid.
my hair's less straight than my dad's, so I'm hoping. And my girlfriend's hair is not like
you
it's
gonna
actually
have a
kind of
kid?
wavy. I have no idea. That's
I think you should do
He's
it.
smiling.
Do it. Yeah, I think
dude.
he's gonna do it. That was
Yeah, dude.
he was
yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Bringing a kid into this world on our combined income is gonna go great.
It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be
I don't
so
really.
good.
I don't want kids.
Hey, bring them over.
Yeah.
We'll help.
No.
Wait, but like,
Yeah,
why?
Let's all
why don't you
the,
want
the
kids?
five of us.
It takes a
Ian, you're in
village.
this at two now.
Yeah, I
We're
really
all
don't want
gonna raise
Zach.
Nick's
We need
kid.
more. We need more
Well, I
fucking
mean, who's
listeners.
going
That's
to
one
actually
more.
bring income in this equation?
Bring it. Our five and combined incomes.
Dude, that is the most fucked up village raising the most fucked up child. That is
Yeah.
not going to be good at all.
Yeah. No,
His
I think
first
it'd be
words
all
It's
right.
just them, and I'm like, hey, do you want to see a pretty color?
Yeah. It's like Charlie in the
Ben-
Chocolate Factory. We're all laying in the same bed.
Ben's going to be showing me his snakes for the 6th time while Quincy's shaking my kid like a chew toy. It's going to be terrible.
I'm really like, I'm going to be teaching your kid how to work for the CIA.
Yeah, that'll be fucking awesome.
I'm like, Quincy,
need
no,
that.
but I'm just slowly walking over, like
Quincy,
not even
put that
running.
down. Quincy,
stop it. We're just riffing, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're being a good
No,
girl.
that's
Okay, but like, why don't? Because I feel like there's people who are like, oh, I don't want to have kids because like the environment is so bad, and
That's the-
that's
It's
the
not
one
even-
where I-
it's
People
not the
should have
environment.
kids
It's like
just so we don't have more of those people.
I think like bringing I don't think there's any way to have a kid and not have its like brain erased by technology without like essentially raising it in like an Amish environment, which will also make it weird. Like it's a lose-lose situation.
yeah.
Okay,
that's fine.
I can agree with that. I don't know. There's people who are like, oh, right now is the worst time ever in history to have a kid. I'm like,
It's
no,
funny because that's literally
like,
the opposite of the truth.
yeah,
Like every other generation, it's like your kid's probably going to die of cholera.
Yeah,
People
like-
used to have a handful, hoping one or two would live.
yeah, that was
Okay.
like, if
And
you
then now
So
people
Ben,
are like,
have
it's
one.
the hardest.
You should have one, dude.
I
if
want
you
to someday.
lived in the city of London,
He's gonna quit comedy, dude. That's crazy. He's
you'd
gonna get a
have
house
to
in the suburbs
boil
and
all
quit.
your water so that way you wouldn't get sick from. Like we have clean water. That's the try telling that to people. I don't know, like
For now, I mean, we have clean water. Billionaires are buying up aquifers. Eventually, it's like we'll have clean water at a premium price. We'll have clean water that we're fighting
Lake
each other
Michigan.
over.
We got Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
Right there.
Nobody can buy Lake Michigan
Yeah, dude.
Somebody will buy.
Too big.
I promise you, somebody will buy Lake Michigan
over my
I'm gonna
dead
start
body.
shitting in Lake Michigan right
Yeah.
now, dude.
just to fuck up Ben's kids.
Yeah.
So
Just coming home. You come home with big brown glasses of water here. It's free. It's
That was
yours.
pretty dope when the French people protested the Olympics by all shitting in the river
Yeah, that
during the
was-
swim.
I mean, that
That was
is
one of the
so
first times I
French.
respected the French in my entire life.
It is funny that like French people are regarded as being like so sexy and romantic because they're the smelliest, stinkiest fucks you've ever met in your life, dude. They're disgusting.
but you still want to kiss them. That's their secret.
I don't know if I want to kiss a French lady. Mm-hmm. I don't
Have
really
you
like
ever-
French ladies.
Oh, I like the French.
Yeah, you can.
You've never been staring one in the eye though.
Of course I
I've
have.
been to
Of
France.
course I
I've
have.
stared them.
Ben,
in the
Well,
eye.
Ben, do you know how many French women I've denied sex in my life? The number is astronomical. You wouldn't believe how many fucking French women want to fuck
Is
me.
it possible to be negative?
And I will-
Yeah.
How many
I'm a
French
man.
women have you
It's-
tried
no,
to fuck
it's
that
not.
have rejected you?
No,
I'm
it's
with
not
it.
negative. It's a lot, actually.
It's a lot?
It's
It's
a
a
lot.
lot.
Yeah.
Okay, double
I said
digits?
no to all of them. It's like triple digits.
should
dude.
do
Triple digits of
Triple
French
digits.
women you've rejected.
It's like triple. It's like high
Notoriously
triple digits.
rude,
You should do this on
unapproachable French
stage.
women.
This would go great.
Dude, yeah, no. French women throw themselves at me and I
Yeah.
fucking smack them away. I pushed one in front of a car.
They love
I
Americans.
really didn't want to fuck her. You know.
And
But that's just me. I mean, I don't know. You know,
the
you might be.
reason-
You're like you would beg a French woman for pussy. You get on your hands and knees.
Well, the reason
On the
French women
cobblestones
want to fuck
of
you so bad
France.
is because you're also smelly and bad.
Yes, true.
They smell. Yeah, they sniff your butt and they're like, yes,
Yeah.
he will suffice.
Yeah.
He's one of us.
So you admit that they stink and suck.
Yeah, I do. I think it's scary that they all are like. French people are the true bisexuals. People are just trying to get bisexual over here to get like clout in the streets or whatever, and then they're just lying.
Right.
But French people are like genuinely any French person you meet If they like as a couple, you're a couple, you meet a French person, it's like they'll fuck both of you. You know?
Yeah.
That's scary to me. Somebody who's just can fuck anybody.
Okay.
That's why bisexuals are scary.
Yeah.
True ones.
True bisexual.
True bisexuals are scary.
Yeah.
Because they really will try and fuck anyone, dude.
That's a take for the ages.
It's worse if they're hot. If they're a really hot bisexual.
A hot bisexual
Because
is
it's just
true.
no one's safe, dude. Imagine that. You could break up a marriage from either side having that power.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, unless one of them doesn't want to have sex with you because they're not gay. There's always that.
No, that literally never happens.
Oh my God, you found their kryptonite.
Never happens, dude.
Consent.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I feel like my brain is cooking.
We're good. We're gonna do 5 more. We're gonna bring this in for a landing.
All right. How do you guys because do you guys just record a bunch and then you edit it, or do you just fucking?
We try our best not to edit.
Okay, yeah.
And I honestly, maybe we'll cut out what Ben said, but if you're uncomfortable with it, but about the Vietnamese people, but but I don't think I'm gonna cut anything out of this. This was a fun episode.
This has honestly been a pretty light one.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to
last week, which I'm sure. Yes. I wonder when Harry's gonna notice that's not up anymore.
Yeah.
Who do you guys have on?
We'll record another one.
We had Harry VJJ on. He's very funny. Funny. Yeah. It was just episode got wild.
Absolutely fucking
It was also
nuts.
crazy because I think we all had like a crazy day before. I drove to the podcast last week this is going to be a disaster. I just felt it in the air.
Well, and we also there was some tech issues. We lost half of it. So it was like a 30-minute podcast that was we were getting responses on the material, which does not usually happen. We don't usually have people go hey, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
You know? So
this is I'm so averse to I want to make every guest feel comfortable that when Harry said crazy shit, I just tried to volley it back.
Yeah.
The only time he said one thing that left me speechless.
No, and I know what
tried
it was.
so hard to recover from it.
I know what it was, and I remember the moment, and I was like, let's delete it.
He said it so nonchalantly too that I was like, well, I'm not going to be. I can't. I don't care about that either. I was
yeah, dude.
It's like that guy at work where you adjust. You're like, I can make this work. I got 6 more hours.
Harry is the most fearless person, and what I loved about what he was like on the podcast too is that is him in every single moment. He doesn't pretend to not.
He walks the walk.
That ever. He does
I respect
it in conversation. He does it on stage.
At the
does
cookout.
it on the internet. He does it wherever. So
in order to balance it out, you had to bring on someone who is the most afraid.
Let me tell you, Ian, I literally said to Zach driving over, I was like, this episode is not going to go like last week's. I was like, we couldn't have picked a better guest.
And you literally came on here and was like, I like it when the bot posts the colors.
Yeah. It was perfect. And honestly, you were great. We're going to have you back.
This is a really good day. This was a good time.
What about this, guys? This is episode 1 of Trophy Watts.
I'll be honest.
What do we think, Zach?
We have too many listeners to do that.
I get anxious when people tell me things are good. I've had people on the show and people be like, Ian, it's such a good show. And then I'm like, there's no way you actually believe that.
Yeah. No, it's great. Because Ian, I got to be honest, because I was, when you were like, yeah, it's an outdoor show on top of the Moisha house, it's just open air. And I was like, is this show going to be good? And then it was amazing. It was a great show.
I'll be honest, the show you were on is, in my opinion, still the best show we've done. Just the best crowd.
What can I say?
Don't say that. You gotta be like, no, that's how it is every time. No, but that was actually a terrible show, dude.
We packed that. We got 25 to 30 people. That roof was insane that night.
And on that rooftop, it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And the closest we've maybe gotten is 19 or 20. And
which is still great for the amount of space you have.
Yeah, but usually we're averaging around 15-ish.
That's great.
What's the show called?
Laughs Over Nelson.
Laughs Over Nelson, people. Chicago people, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Next week we have on Natalie Whalen. Let me pull up who we have on, actually. I'm blanking out on it.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up.
Plug this show. And we'll put a link to it in the and a link to your Instagram in the description as well.
Man. Yeah, let me pull up who we have coming on. The next 2 months are going to be really good shows. Yeah, we have a show June 21st. It's going to be Noah Wolf, Teddy Hill, Natalie Whalen, Kwame Marshall, Max Sorich, and
great lineup.
and Donna. I'm blanking on her last name, but she's hilarious.
Donna will be there.
Fucking Donna. Go
And
see
then-
Donna.
Yeah.
And then on July 19th, we're going to have Milo Mack, Marco Sereno, Ali Throka, Sofia Smarandrescu, Hunter Hirsch, and Lewis Michael.
Yeah, that's
Hell
great.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
an awesome lineup.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's summertime in Chicago. If you're listening in Chicago, go to the show. It's a fucking blast.
You hit me up, hit up anybody who's on the show for the address, because it's just at like a house. We don't really like posting it. Yeah, come on out. It's a good show. There's a bunch of free beer.
Hell
Free
yeah.
beer.
Yeah, free beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have just
I might start doing comedy again just because of that.
You should start doing comedy again, man.
Yeah,
All right.
sure.
I think that's the Ian, thanks so much for
Yeah,
doing this.
definitely.
It was a
I
blast.
was
having
sad
you
we
on.
didn't get to talk about joke writing. Because you're
I'm not.
Are you kidding? You're joking, right?
No, because I think you're one of the better joke writers in the city of Chicago.
Ian,
Keep it in.
Ian, let me tell you something. We will never. I've made a rule. We do not talk about fucking comedy on this podcast.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Nobody wants to hear that.
No.
Sometimes we'll talk about like bad shows or mics, but we're not going to talk about the like comedy theory joke writing.
I guess that's because I am a comic. To me, like
You're a comic?
theory is
Sorry. I had you.
is so interesting. Like, I love hearing the stories of how jokes were written. Like,
Right.
really, like, the only podcast I'll listen to is really Conan O'Brien's podcast, because they'll do that. They'll bring on people and they'll talk
That's
about how
because you
shows-
have this illness.
See,
Yeah.
and I would really like to just shoot Gary Goldman in the head.
That should be the name of the app. Fuck Gary Coleman.
Yeah, never. I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but yeah, dude, thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
we will
thank you
never
for
talk
having
about
me.
jokes on this podcast.
What a way to end it. Actually, Ian, that's the one thing we don't do.
Yeah, dude.
We'll see you guys next week. All right.
Thank you, guys.